Turkey season in Kansas started in 1974. There were a small number of archery permits issued, and then in 75, 6, and 7 is when the gun season started. I got my first turkey permit in 1978, and the birds had showed up on my grandfather's farm, and they'd stocked them about 6 miles north of him up on the Little Walnut River. I heard about the governor's hunt in the first year, and I called up and got a hold of Marv on the phone, and Marv said, well, we're already full. We've already got enough guides. We don't need any more. He said, but call me next year. And I said, okay. So I called next year, and that's the first year I got involved with the hunt. And I got to take Jack Youngblood. Older people know who he was. He was the defensive end for the LA Rams from 71 to 85. And you get a whole bunch of people together hunting, and it's just a lot of fun. And we've always had so much fun at the governor's hunt. Well, it started out, I think, as to improve the community and bring new people in and bring new businesses in, and I think it's done that. We weren't too far into the hunt. We started hearing about how everybody had heard about it, and it's a premier hunt in the country, and it really put El Dorado on the map. Probably the most memorable person in the hunt would have to be Marv McGowan. I was very impressed with Marv and Judy and Kelly back when everything first started. What a great job they did. They really crossed all their T's and dotted their I's and done a fantastic job for years. One of the funniest kind of crazy things that happened years ago that I'll never forget, they put me with a guy named Nicholas Franco. And Nicholas owned all of the Holiday Inns in Spain. He was part of the old Franco family. He had come to the United States, and he'd been all over the world, and he was filling a wildlife museum in Madrid. And he came to the governor's one shot to get a North American wild turkey to put in the North American motif in the museum in Madrid. They've always said, the best time to call in a tom is when his last hen has left him. The hens will stay with him until the nest is full, and then they won't come back. And that actually happened to us that morning. We got down in the woods, and clear across the field, I could see the tom in the tree, and he was all by himself. And I hit the call, and as soon as it got light enough, he flew halfway across that field, ran the rest of the way right up to us, and stopped dead in front of Nicholas, 10 feet. He's just over there about to hyperventilate, and he goes, shoot? I said, yeah, shoot him. And he shot him, and he dropped his gun, and he said, that was more exciting than a charging elephant. We told that story, and everybody just, no, I don't think so. But yeah, that was very memorable. When Sam Brownback was governor, he had a hard time getting a bird. Their luck was terrible. The first year he didn't get one. The second year he didn't get one. The third year, we were at the luncheon. I looked over at him, and I went kind of like that, did you shoot one? And he came over, and no, he didn't. Well, my son by that time was a guide on the hunt, and my son had been involved from the time he was 12. I think he was 18 then, and I just turned to my son and I said, take him down to the house and get him a turkey. Brownback had his son with him. He said, that easy? I said, oh yeah, it won't be no problem. There was like 5 or 6 toms hanging around the creek right below my house, and so they went down there, and took 20 minutes to get there, and phone rings, and my son says, Dad, they're all in the yard. What do I do? I said, just pull in and get out and get your stuff and go get in the blind. They'll all run off into the woods and see if you can call them back. 10 minutes later, I get a text that says, boom. Hey, Brownback, he got him a bird, and then 5 minutes after that, I get another text, boom, his son got one. That was a pretty big deal that year. My most memorable moments from the hunt, I guess, have been the acquaintances I've made with television people. When Jimmy Houston was here, Dave Sundgren guided him one year, I guided him another year, and got to do, I think, 4 different TV shows. Pretty neat doing television shows with those guys that came in, and that was a lot of fun. I'd really like to thank everybody that's been involved with this all along. We've always been able to find enough guides. We've always been able to find enough landowners that wanted to be involved, and everybody's been very generous over the years. And the celebrity I've taken for the last 25 years, his name's Matt Raymond. He's been a great donor. He loves the kids. He's donated to all kinds of stuff like that. And I just want to thank everybody that's been involved and stays involved. And without everybody contributing, it wouldn't happen. And it's been great. Really enjoyed it. And thank you all.